I hope we are.
It
And
says we're live. I'm looking at on my screen right there.
I'm just happy that we're doing this again. I feel like I don't even know you anymore, Gary.
I
Where have
know.
you've been in Europe? Tell me about that,
Oh
man.
man, I was in Italy. Holy cow! I haven't had a vacation. I started my business 26 years ago, and I've had vacations spotty here and there. 5 days here, 7 days there, but I've never really taken, I guess you'd call a proper vacation where I'm gone for 2 weeks. And I was gone for 2 weeks, pretty much disconnected. I mean, I was still connected with you guys, messaging here and there, but didn't make any of our meetings. Didn't do my Tokenomics Tuesday. I wasn't here for this. I disconnected, and I'll tell you, it was great. It was good to get away. I've never been overseas before. To see Italy, holy cow, was absolutely amazing. Took my wife, went with my best bud, Neil. So
Yeah,
him
awesome.
and his girl. So it was the four of us. It was amazing, man. I had a blast. Saw some history. It's crazy when you walk inside of a building that's 2,000 years old. You're like, how the hell is this still standing?
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something that's really cool. And this is what's fun. So we saw a lot of art. I mean, Italy is all about the art, right? A lot of churches, a lot of statues. And something I thought about as I'm walking through these churches, we went to the Vatican, went to the Sistine Chapel and saw, what Da Vinci, did and all this stuff. And I'm thinking, this stuff is, what are we talking, 1,300 years old or 1,500, 1,600, somewhere around there. I forget my math. Actually, it's 600 years old, right?
Yeah,
Jesus,
right.
Gary. Anyways, my point is that we're looking at art. And the whole time I'm looking, I'm thinking, what are people 600 years from today going to say about the NFTs and what we're creating on the blockchain? Because ultimately it should still exist, unless there's some kind of catastrophe and something happens where blockchains go away. If the blockchain still exists and we now see the very first NFTs that were created, talking about the BAYCs, talking about the Bulls and Apes project. I mean, we're early, especially if you're talking 600 years from now. Yep. Is somebody going to be like, oh, those guys are the innovators? So it was kind of an interesting perspective to be someplace and looking at art and thinking about what we're doing on our side with the NFTs, and it's art. I mean, we're art, there's a lot of one-on-one artists out there too, and how we're going to be perceived hundreds of years. I mean, we're not going to be around.
Not to mention music and the impact of that. I mean, we got Sammy here. Like this is actually a long time coming where I'm stoked about today's show. But you're right, man. Is it like the things that are changing right now in the space? We feel like, oh man, that happened back in January. That was ancient history. But in the grand scheme of things, when you look, like this is still the starting line. Like it doesn't matter. Even 20 years from now, when you look back, you're not going to be like, oh yeah, those guys were way ahead because they started 7 months before the other guy. Like, no, that's two people starting at the beginning.
Right.
So it's pretty interesting. But
it's
Europe's cool. It makes you feel like everything that is like just happened. And then you're seeing stuff that's in Europe that's just thousands of I don't know. I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, we went to the Colosseum, and that's that was started A or BC, right? I mean, like 9. I don't know. I get my dates all confused. So many dates flying through my head when we were there. Holy cow! We had some amazing tour guides. But I think about the U.S. and I go to the East Coast and I see some buildings that were 1700s, 1600s. Maybe you get lucky. That's a drop in the bucket compared to what's in Europe. It's crazy, different perspective, man.
Yeah, well, we're happy to have you back. Me and you shot the online course, 2 of them, and I've been chipping away at that, grinding like crazy. I have been working my face off on that, but I'm super, super excited to have you back right at the point where we're going to be releasing all that stuff. So for those of you guys watching, if you don't know about what we got coming, it is good. It is good
stuff. So I'm telling you, the stuff that we have coming, one of the advantages of being on vacation with one of the founders was the ability to talk and strategize. And I know this show is not about BAP. We are sponsored by the Bulls and Apes Project, and we do this show to highlight other things in the space. But I'm just going to do a little plug here because I'm going to tell you guys and anybody that's watching right now, the things that we have planned are going to blow your socks off. The stuff that's coming is crazy. So I'm super excited about it. I'm re-energized having a vacation. Re-energized for the one-on-one courses. I saw our close to final edits now, and they're so cool. So man, we're gonna be making a statement in the space, but it's cool.
Yeah.
we've got some news. I've been away for a while, and we usually try to pick up a couple things, and I haven't been following anything. You got what I sent you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's talk about that real quick. It's kind of fun because we just do a little bit of current stuff, and I always try to find things that are positive because there's so much negative garbage going on in the space right now. So this is interesting. Now, this first article I picked it for a reason, and the reason I did this first subject is because there's been a lot of talk, in the space. In 2020, 2021, NFTs have been all about the degens. Degens own the space. They started the space. They've been the driving force behind it. And when we got into this space, everybody looked at us as the corporation coming in, and what are we doing? Here comes the corporation. And we kept telling people, man, we're not the corporation. Yeah, we all have corporate backgrounds. I've had my own business for 26 years. It is a corporation. Anthony's, from the corporate world. Guy and Manny are definitely, they ran their businesses, all corporations. But we're really not corporate. We're still degens at heart. We were in this space before we started this project, and we were in the space as degens. So when people have said that when we started about, oh, you guys are the corporate people coming into this space, we really weren't. But it's happening. And we knew it was going to happen. Yep. It's happening now. And so Starbucks, and can't get much bigger than corporation. We're talking about Starbucks, right? No. Starbucks announced that they're going to be offering an NFT-based loyalty program on the Polygon blockchain technology. So they're actually doing, customers are going to be able to purchase digital collectible stamps in the NFT form. So it's probably going to go somewhere along the lines of their rewards program, which I'm guilty. I go to Starbucks every day, so I rack those points up. I think I got over 2,000 points. But it's going to be interesting to see now how they're tying in blockchain technology and NFTs into their loyalty program. And this is the introduction. This is the start of corporations getting into space. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. It's here. It's going to happen, and it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate this space, because
I hope they mess up, man. I hope they give like a grandfather thing where if you buy this, you get free something stupid for a long time. Because I'm gonna be ready to pounce on that kind of stuff.
I'm telling you,
that would be the best.
I'm telling you. So not a lot of information on it. I just thought it would be interesting to bring up, just because I know from my experience being in this space as a Bulls and Apes project. And us always being associated as a corporation, this is the real corporation coming in as Starbucks. Yeah. And there's others. I know that there's other companies that are looking at their entry points into blockchain and into NFTs. And it's going to be cool. Yeah. So
it makes me think about years ago. I remember when Gary Vee was, he was doing the show circuit, basically showing up to this convention and that one. And he would say, for the longest time, he'd ask people, are you running Facebook ads for your business? Because if you're not, then you're missing out on the opportunity that is going to go away. Because when the big guys come in, when the big corporations, when they start running that stuff, the opportunity will be gone for you, because the slow movers, the big giant people, once they're doing it, they're going to suck all the goodness out of it for you. And sure enough, what ended up happening, and there's other things that happened with Facebook ads, but at the end of the day, once those big players come into the space, things change. Right. And we're at that same exact point that it was that early opportunity years ago with Facebook ads, but now, with NFTs and people figuring out how to use it for business and all that. But once the big guys come into play like that, they're going to be doing things at a completely different level. And it's interesting, where imagine the impact of that. What if right now everybody's like, oh, Ethereum or Solana or whatever, but for all we know, all the other blockchains could be completely dwarfed by Polygon if that's the big corporation thing. Right. But we don't know. It's just so early on with all that stuff. So just cool to see him coming in,
Yeah, and there's a positive side to this, and I know the degen space, man. I played in the degen space for a long time before I got involved with Bulls Names Project, and I get it. I get the feeling of, we want to do things our own way. We don't want the man telling us how to do things. We want to, it's decentralized, we spend our money the way we want to spend it. It's all about, personal responsibility in this space and having that anonymity to do what you want to do. The downside of that is it's a small community. It really is when you think about the overall size of the world. So I guess the advantage of having a corporate coming in is it's going to bring more eyes to the space. So to try to embrace that a little bit, because it's going to be for the benefit of everybody. That's what we need. We need growth. If we don't have any growth, we're all basically just trading money amongst each other. We're selling our NFTs. We're buying somebody, and we're just doing this swap, and we're just recirculating the same funds with the same holders throughout all the different NFT projects. Especially, I mean, you and I, we know a lot of NFT projects, and there's a lot of same players that are bouncing back and forth.
There really are. Yep.
So the only way we're going to grow those holder counts, which all of us as projects are looking for, getting our floor pricing up, getting the demand, getting the buy pressure going, is to bring new eyes into this space. And I think the fastest way it's going to happen is through corporate integration into this space. Even though we not necessarily want it, it's going to be a good thing if we embrace it and if it's done right. And the corporations that come in and don't play, and don't want to participate, and think that they're going to do it their own way, are the ones that are going to fail. And we knew that coming in, that you can't come in and say, oh, we're doing things so different that it's going to be this. No, you come in, you can make some changes, but you still need to respect the space, respect the people that are here, and you have to play in the same sandbox right now. So we got to make friends, right?
Yeah, totally. And I think we are going to see certain verticals really make a big impact. We know music is going to be one of those. Yep. We know gaming is going to be one of those eventually. But then also, I think the one that I don't hear as much of, probably just because of the circles I run in with the whole degen thing, they're not exactly in the fashion side of this. Right. But I always hear that fashion is a vertical that's just going to be driving mass adoption and all that stuff too. So we'll get there eventually for sure.
We will. So I want to bring up one more thing, because I know we're getting up at that time to bring our guests on, but this was interesting because I know we got Sammy come in, and I wanted to talk about this before the music. So I popped this up today. I saw it. Beyonce's producers are helping the Bored Apes make music, was the headline I saw. And I'm like, okay, wait, what is this? So yeah, the Bored Apes, they have a band called Kingship, and it's Bored Apes and One Mutant Ape, and the band is represented by these NFTs. And talking about what NFTs are, we talked about the IP rights. The Bulls Age project offers it, Bored Apes offer it. Most projects do offer some level of IP. And that's exactly what this holder is doing. All of these apes are held by the same holder, Jimmy McNillis. I think he's the one. I don't know if he's the same guy that had a T-shirt made in one of the skate shops. I always forget. There's a few big players. But what's really cool is they've actually created this band, and they're actually going to have their frontmen. All the BAYCs are all the band members, so they're going to actually be producing an album, doing music. It's legit. It's showing what this space is, what it can be. And it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. So I just thought it was kind of fun to talk about BAYC. And we have something better than that, because we have a real life person.
We have a real life Sammy. Yes, Sammy. We do.
So I think Sammy's going to be way better than any NFT singing on the screen. But it just shows the different things that are happening in the space, and what's possible. I mean, we don't know what we don't know. So I never thought this was going to happen. Holy cow, we're going to have a band that's represented by NFTs. Who knows where we're going to be in a few months, right?
It's so crazy.
That's cool.
Well, when it comes to music NFTs, I love watching the stuff that Sammy has been doing. I randomly heard him in an Apocalyptic Apes room in maybe January or February. And I listened to him play. And the first thing that I did was, I didn't know him. I didn't really know hardly anybody, but I was just like, I retweeted this thing out. I was like, if you don't know who this guy is, follow this guy, because he's doing cool things. I don't even know him. I'd never chatted with him or anything, but I started off by like shouting this guy out. And so now to get to have him on the show is obviously a good time. We've got to hang out multiple times in different cities around the country. And I know that's just going to continue going on. But in one of those cities, I actually gave Sammy a Bulls and Apes hat, and I see my guy wearing it right here off stage, and he's going to play us in with the song. So without further ado, let's say hi to our friend Sammy. What's up, my man? What are you going to play for us?
Sammy.
What's going on, guys? Hey, thanks for having me. I'm going to start off with my song Pixelated, which is the song that inspired my current collection that we're minting right now. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and jump in. Here we go.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, we leave in the universe. We ain't ever coming back down to the earth. If we were in a video game, I'd give you my last life. No, I'm never looking away from your one-on-one design. Ooh, let's take a spin around the blockchain, fire up a new flame. Ooh, and take it to a new domain. 3, 2, 1, we're leaving the universe. We ain't ever coming back down to the earth. There's no way that we could fake it, even if it's pixelated. We're so out of touch in reality, but that will never change what it do to me. I can feel the love I'm making, even if it's pixelated. Baby, it's a picture in your face when the lights go out. Always put you on display when we're hanging around some B&A crowd. Ooh, let's make a name around the blockchain, show them all we made. Ooh, and pull me into a brand new place, yeah. 3, 2, 1, we're leaving the universe. We ain't ever coming back down to the earth. There's no way that we could fake it, even if it's pixelated. We're so out of touch in reality, that will never change what it do to me. I can feel the love I'm making, even if it's pixelated. Yeah, 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 yeah. I can feel the love I'm making, even if it's pixelated. Thanks.
Hey, that's my guy.
Nice.
Love it.
Thank you.
There is something to be said about doing this live. I tell you, I mean, I've listened to you many times on Spaces, but to see you sing, yeah, it's so smooth.
Gosh, him in person. That's the magic.
I missed him in New York. We were so busy doing our thing, you know, with the project. I so missed it, but I'm waiting for that next event so we can definitely connect.
Absolutely. Yeah. Man. I would love that. Can't wait for that.
Yeah. So cool.
It was really fun in Austin. The being able to play in you know, like live on Spaces and all that stuff, or even live here on YouTube, that's really cool. But the fact that Sammy just basically set up right in the middle of so many people and just starts playing and just talking to people as they're walking past and everything, with the whole I accept tips in ETH only.
Yeah.
That was fun, dude. That was a really fun video. I should have loaded that thing up on here.
I was just goofing around that day. It's funny. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't normally have the courage to do that kind of stuff, but for some reason, just that day, just felt right. So yeah,
we were all feeding off each other. That was fun. We got a bunch of videos of you and Brooke, and lots of people that were out there just chatting with people walking past. Like, that was, I think, the magic of getting together in real life and hanging out with people that you've been spending time with on Spaces is that kind of thing where, like, you're more outgoing, you get to go do things and make cool memories, just doing fun stuff. And if you can capture that on video or any, you know, especially even just pictures, just it makes such a huge impact on when you talk with those same people later in the space. It's the best, dude.
100%. Absolutely. Nothing like that IRL, just hanging out and, you know, vibing out.
Yeah. Well, dude, I want to make this about you, and I don't want to cut off Gary because I'll talk forever. But
that's fine. Good. I want to hear Sammy. I don't want to talk either. So
yeah, I know. Well, here's what I wanted to ask you about is you're minting Pixelated right now. I'm a holder, as the same with, you know, the Meta Girl heart and all that. But you did something very different with this mint. You did it completely reverse. Just because you're blazing trails, can you like break that down and talk about it for a minute, like how and why you did what you did with Pixelated?
Yeah, absolutely. So we decided to do Pixelated very shortly after Meta Girl, just because, you know how music is, like, you know, if you don't capture the hype, you know, somebody else is going to come in and just, you know, just keep doing their thing. And so, like, we wanted to kind of bottle up that excitement that we had from Meta Girl back in February. And even throughout the mint out, and, you know, even a month after that, we already felt, you know, the space moves in light speed. You know, people just want more and more and more. So I'm like, you know what, like, I'm going to treat, you know, my NFT drops the same way that I treat my music singles in Web 2 on Spotify and Apple Music. So I'm like, you know what, I don't have a PFP project. I'm going to see if I can maybe fire something up where I can marry the, the PFP culture with just the way that I approach music singles. And so I created a collection of 4,444 pixel characters inspired by my song Pixelated. And I even went as far as producing 12 different alternate versions of the same song, where we would keep the same exact vocal and then produce the song, like the track, in 12 different variations, including the rock version, the salsa version, the symphony version with an orchestra and everything. And so those are going to automatically randomize throughout the whole collection attached to your PFP. And they're also going to range from common to legendary. So some of the versions are going to be harder to get than others. But when it comes to the mint, we felt like if, with this massive airdrop that we had in place for everybody with Metagirl hearts, because we made it for every Metagirl heart you have, as long as you have a Pulse Pass, which was pretty much the Sammy VIP card that we airdropped to all of our Genesis holders. It was an NFT. You would receive a free Pixelated for every digital heart you held. And so we felt, especially with the market, the way that it's in, that if we held that massive airdrop first, that people were just going to, liquidate everything immediately and take whatever they can get, and so we wanted to avoid that from happening. And so we decided to, let's do it the other way around. Let's just start with public. Let's make sure we, sell those units that we need to sell first so that we can get the liquidity needed to, execute on the vision that we have in place. And then after that, we do the whitelist for those that want to get a discount price. And then we did it more of a community driven whitelist, which is not necessarily like an individual whitelist. We did it like, we just listed communities that were there for us from the very beginning, and let us kind of sing on their spaces and, come to the IRL events. And so that we did that as phase 2. And then phase 3, which is what the phase we're in right now, is the Pulse Pass phase. It's the OG phase where they can mint in peace for 0.03, which is a 70% discount from the public phase. And we had like a 2 to 3 day window where if you had multiple Pulse Passes, you can mint 20 per Pulse Pass. But since all of those, Pulse Pass collectors got what they needed to get, we opened it up, for all Pulse Pass holders. And now y'all can get as many as you'd like, up to 150 per transaction.
Dude, you've got holders. What's your top holders? You've got a few people that just have so many. Uncivil's got, more than anybody. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Uncivil alone holds 250 pixelated.
Wow.
Yeah. It's mind blowing. Yeah.
How amazing.
The crazy part is that fun fact is that he bought most of those during the public sale.
Yeah. At 0.1.
Wow.
0.1 was, at the time, Ethereum was like $900, maybe $1,000. Mm-hmm. And Ethereum is, even though it's 1,700 right now, if you think about it, like he's almost double on his 0.1 investment. And he's kept buying during the 0.05s, during the 0.03, as Ethereum keeps rising. So, and the collection on secondary is still above our current mint. We're minting right now for 0.03 and our floor on secondary is 0.05. So it's almost double the mint price.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, Uncivil has about 250. We have another holder with about 85. A few other ones with 71. We have a handful with 50. And we were doing the math. I think we have about 30 people with over 20 pixelateds, which is pretty healthy for the collection. And, and again, we haven't even held the airdrop. That's the very, very final phase. And it's 1,500 pixelateds being blasted out into the air.
That's so cool, man.
So
I love it.
Yeah, it's insane. We currently have 550 unique holders, and that's before the airdrop. I was telling the team that once we do that 1,500 airdrop, that unique holder count is going to go probably 1,500, maybe 2,000 out of the 1,444. Yeah,
that's because really good.
Mine too. I during Metagirl, I did a lot of Web 2 onboarding, and so we didn't want to go with the free claim approach because a lot of those people don't know what that even means. They don't know what free claim means. And so I said, you know what? We're going to make that 2 ETH back on secondary royalties. So let's make it easy for everybody. Just sit back. We're going to do the airdrop. Everybody's going to get it in their wallet. So that way, those people that I onboarded in Web 2, I could just go like, hey, look at your wallet. I threw something in there for you, you know? And it just creates a better moment. It creates more excitement for them to want to dive into the Web3 space even more and say, what, you sent me a free NFT? That's crazy. You know,
you do a lot of cool stuff though. Like, you know, yesterday I was doing yard work. It was a Sunday. I'm sitting in there like working on a fence, but I'm also in a Zoom call watching as, you know, as Sammy and Violetta are playing live and doing like song requests. Like, I'm a big country music fan, right? So I could literally ask my boy Sammy, hey, can you play some Garth Brooks, or can you play, you know, Zach Brown Band or whatever? And he just knows it. He'll sit there. That's such a cool experience. And I've heard you say before, Sammy, like that the utility is like you're getting to hang out with the artist. You're watching them on their journey. Like, that's a massive utility for somebody who it's like, I'm buying stock in Sammy by buying Pixelated. And like, it's such a no-brainer for me to see this happening and to see you doing these things before anybody else does. Reverse mints, what, you know, like live Zoom calls.
Yeah, who does that, right? Who does a reverse mint? That's crazy. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was definitely a scary commitment to make, but that's how much I trusted my community, that I knew that they would understand. And to be honest, like it's protected the floor in so many like miraculous ways. The fact that it's like, you know, it held at 0.1 throughout the entire public sale of 1,000 units. And then when we went back to 0.05, it still held at 0.08, 0.07 around there. And then even now that's 0.03, like it's held at 0.05, 0.06. Yeah. And there's 3,600 units already out there in the world, you know, in the wild. So that just says a lot about, you know, how loyal and how strong the music NFT community is. And I'm just really excited for the mass adoption to come in, and, you know, investors and collectors to understand what it's like to not only collect an NFT from a music artist, but to like see it in the light of like a Sammy stock or a Sammy stake, you know, which Violetta put it in a better way. And being able to invest in a young artist early on before they potentially blow up and, you know, and start becoming more popular in modern media.
I love it, man. Well, I mean, you're sitting there tackling things. You and V are coming after the music vertical big time. Another vertical that I mentioned earlier is the gaming section, you know, that whole side of things. And I love that our next guest, TapTapRev, they say that like the NFT or the Web3 games that are out there, they suck, and they're in the space to change that. And so I want to welcome Nathan and Taylor to the stream. What's up, boys? How you doing?
How's it going? Thanks so much for having us on here. Sammy, that song rocked. We have not heard your songs before, but we are definitely going to go check them out.
Really, that's awesome, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yeah. So I heard that you guys were going to be joining us today. Tess mentioned that we had Sammy. I was like, I don't know what voodoo you made work to get my very busy friend on here, but I was happy about that. But Nathan and Taylor, I've been hearing more and more about TapTapRev. You guys got a mint that's coming up and all that stuff. But yes, if you will, can we get a quick origin story on the business and what brought you into the space?
Yeah, definitely. So our origin story. So I'm Nathan. This is Taylor, if you couldn't tell from the names at the bottom. So our origin story is we have been best friends since kindergarten. We're 28, 29 now. And we've always built things together. We've always been inventing and trying to just create things that used to start with mechanical engineering. And then we started getting more into software engineering, and we worked at companies together. And then we both kind of split off and took our own paths to get deeper into engineering, and both ended up as architects. So we had this really good understanding of technology and architectures and application architecture to make sure things work well. And we really wanted to make something that was ours and something that was fun and something that people would really enjoy. So we actually started this project 2 years ago with the simple idea of, what if there was a mobile game that you didn't have to spend hours playing to be the best at? You didn't have to pay to win. There was nothing like that. And you walked away with a tangible prize. And that tangible prize, we started out with the game. It was 3 games a day. We gave $5 to the winner. And people went crazy for it. They loved it. They really, really loved it. We had a ton of success there. And then kind of just with our curious minds and the company I was working for, we were looking into blockchain technologies to solve some really cool problems. And so over a year, we were really studying and learning and seeing how public blockchains work and private blockchains work and POW versus POS and all of these systems. And we kind of fell in love with it. We became kind of infatuated with the technology, and we said, there's so much to be done here. So then we started looking into NFTs and kind of dabbling, getting our feet wet. And we had this game, and we were looking at all the other games that we were playing, and we didn't think they were up to snuff. You know, a lot of games, as they call them in this space we have found, is really just the gamification of something, right? So that's staking and waiting, which is an amazing onboarding tactic. It's used for almost every single new technology. But we wanted a real game on there. We wanted something people could, you know, really play and earn something amazing from. So that's where we came up with the idea for bringing our Web 2 game into Web 3. We knew it was something people loved, and we knew we wanted to give away more than $5 a day. So we really liked this idea of being able to mint a bunch of tokens and then be able to use that to really give back to the community in the same way the Web 2 game worked with buying lives and stuff in the app. But this way, you wouldn't have to buy again and again and again to try and win that prize. You get the token, and it levels up automatically. You get more lives the more you play the game. And we kind of just, all of the ideas came together at once, and we were like, we got to do this. So we've been pushing on every single side for the last 4 months and getting this game not only up to snuff for the gameplay wise, because we wanted to make it a little better than it was from 2 years ago, because we've learned so much more, but also make it something that everybody could play and that would be secure. You know, we're talking about giving really big prizes away in this game. We're doing a 52-week season of giving away 10 Ethereum prizes each week, which will be voted on NFTs.
Holy cow.
And to start that off, if you mint an OG token, you'll be in a 400-person game competing for a 20 Ethereum community voted on NFT.
Crazy. Well,
prizes. And so go.
I was just gonna say, you know, I'd asked you guys before the show if you had like a cool video or something. I brought you guys on. I uploaded the video right now in the background, and I was like, oh my gosh, all the stuff that you're talking about and the prizes and everything else. I'm like, I bet you there's a lot of really cool stuff in this video. And so I by no means do I want you to stop. But I want to hear from Taylor as well after we play the video. But as soon as you're good and ready, man, I'm sitting here. You're getting me excited to watch this video. So
absolutely.
We got to let it ready whenever you're good.
Yeah, so I mean, really just these 4 months, we've been really working on security and making it so bots cannot beat everybody in this game, because we are seeing with these prizes that's going to be there. And we're finally at that point where it's buttoned down. We've tested this thing to the end of the earth, and we're just really to a very painful point. And so we're just really excited. Yeah, let's play that video.
Yeah, let's
all right.
Let's do it.
This is dope. All right, here we go. Yeah, that looks dope, man. I got to do a little plugin for my for Final Cut Pro that I edit on, and it's got the little 3D phones, and I'm like, ooh, I'm inspired. I need
the 3D phones are the best.
Cool little social media posts. That's rad. That was awesome.
So yeah, just a couple really cool things about this game that we'd love to share with everybody, and kind of the things that we're trying to solve in this space is our game is already built. There's no waiting. The second we mint, games will begin. There's no waiting. The technology is there. We're also not your classic PFP project. you know, we're really, these are tickets to ride, right? You buy them, you can own them, you can level them up so they earn rarity just by playing, but they're really tickets to ride. But we didn't want to forget about the art in this space. And kind of, Gary, what you were saying earlier, it's like, before you change everything, you still have to respect where you're going into. And so we came up with this really fun idea of creating evolving artwork for the NFT. So like our level 1 artwork, it's this bear in Sahara and this little like glowing orb in the middle of it. And then as you get to level 2, the orb glows a little brighter and some fauna and flowers start coming out. And then as this thing levels up all the way to level 10, by level 10, you've got a masterpiece. It's a giant garden. It's beautiful. The orb has transformed into something else entirely. And as you're doing that, you're earning yourself more tries in each weekly competition. So you get the art with it. You get the actual additional benefit of what the token itself can do. And you get more tries at the utility we're providing to win these really massive prizes. And so with royalties, so this entire game is going to be paid for by Mint. So royalties are going right back into those 10 Ethereum a week prizes. So we're really hoping by the end of this, at week 52, that, you know, it's going to be 60, 70, 80 Ethereum prize, and it's just going to be absolute insanity, and it's going to be
like a super lotto. This is
right.
That's crazy. So you're saying the NFT actually evolves? So when you get the NFT initially, it's gonna change. That's built into the metadata. It's going to change. It's going to update.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that
and
is
your NFT
cool.
will carry that all the way through transferring, trading, selling, whatever it may be. That NFT, that meta gets locked to it. So
it gets locked to it. So as the person advances through the game and levels up, that is increasing rarity on that, because how many people are leveling up that far? So you're going to have these different levels. Everybody's starting at a level playing field, and so your NFTs value of the NFTs are going to change as people start playing the game more and generating more to their NFT itself.
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea.
Wow, that's
I
cool.
love that your guys' community's showing up. Like they're in the comments.
The TTR
like,
community does show
pump it.
We love the TTR community.
That's cool. That's how Sammy's community is the same way. Like they show up. Like it's the same people that are 100% pushing it. So I absolutely love that. And it also made me think. I was like, I wonder how these two worlds are going to collide when you've got people that are coming in that are big names in music NFTs, and then big names that are in gaming NFTs, and then like, why would the game not have that music in there? Like, that's right. Everybody wins.
Let's talk about it, Sammy. Let's talk about it.
That is so cool.
Cool.
It's amazing to see the evolution of NFTs. I mean, we've been talking about it. We talked about it in our show for the last few weeks, and 2021 was all about the art, right? It was all about the art. We started seeing music coming in one-on-ones, but man, the direction the blockchain is going, I don't think, like I said earlier in the show, we don't know what we don't know, right? And things are it's cool. This is, man, we're so early in this stuff, and the things are happening in this space in Web3. They're going to write books about it.
I had a crazy idea where like you can like tie in one of your games and like you have to complete the puzzle before the song is over. So it incentivizes people to listen to the song from start to finish. And then if they get the song done, I mean, the puzzle done by the end of the song, they win an award.
Totally. So how the game actually is played, you all saw there's that like sea of multicolored bubbles on the screen, and then there's that colored pill at the top. So you are trying to tap the correctly colored bubbles as fast as you can. There's a limited amount. So it's kind of like the opposite of solving a puzzle. It's more like running a race, right? You want to tap the correctly colored bubbles as fast as you can.
Yeah, you know how streaming works, that like you have to pass a certain amount of seconds listening to a song to even qualify for a music stream.
Right.
Like, if you're skipping through Spotify, they're not earning royalties.
Right.
It's like you have to listen to like I think 8-9 seconds, maybe 10 seconds of the intro, and then it kicks in the payment.
That is so annoying, but
yeah, which is insane. So like something like that just gets my mind going too. So.
Absolutely. I think, to what you were saying, Gary, I mean, now that LG is getting into the space with NFTs, they're doing it for the artwork on their TVs. Mm-hmm. And I really see all of the work that all of us this early in this space are doing. We are doing proof cases for blockchain, right? This is all just proving that this technology has use and can be utilized.
Yep.
And I think the more people like focus on using the technology for the correct thing and not just for technology's sake is really what's going to elevate this industry as a whole.
Yeah, agree 100%. It's and you know, we've experienced the same thing in Bulls and Apes. We've been doing things that are different. Different is hard. Different is hard in spaces. You know, Chris and I talked about at the beginning of the show, and you alluded to respecting the space when you come into it, because the space is a degen space, and it always has been. And it's scary. It's scary to change. It's scary to have that, but the benefit, I think, is going to far outweigh the fear, because I mean, like you guys, I mean, you're bringing in the ability to onboard, providing a game which anybody plays. I mean, you know, my wife doesn't own any NFTs. She knows what I do. We do this thing. Yeah. She doesn't own anything, but she plays mobile games all the freaking time. Like, she's on her phone playing mobile games. I don't. She does. Right. So this is just an example of somebody that you know, is bridging people into this space and giving them an introduction into what Web3 is, and saying, hey, you know, you can still play this game, but you're also going to be earning something that is so unique. I think it's so cool. And the more people do this and develop projects and do things like you guys are doing, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
If you're early in the space, you might be Taylor and get blinded by
I'm getting down in my apartment. The light came on. That's a sign right there, guys.
Exactly. Well, Gary, we're gonna have to get your wife a token. I think we're gonna have to
do something. You know? Yeah. I'm gonna have to do it. I mean, you know, come on. You guys are on the show. I'm gonna have to dive in and let's do it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Hey, and did you guys already get on the morning show with Tess and Chris?
We did it last week. We're doing it again tomorrow, and then we're doing a big Bulls and Apes by TTR space to kind of right before we kick off our mint party. So we're super excited for that. That'll happen on Thursday at, I believe, 9 p.m. Eastern.
I believe so, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. No, I'm missing everything. Gary was in Europe. I'm like locked in the closet where I work on the online course, and they only let me out to go to bed. And then I wake up and I'm back in the closet working on the online course. When I'm done, I'll be back in the on NFT Twitter and get to start partaking myself, because I think there's not a lot of fun to play things in the NFT space in terms of gaming. So this sounds like a much less involved version of it. I've been doing some beta testing with a game called Big Time, and that's a really fun game, but it's so time consuming. I'm a grown man with kids and a wife, and like I don't get to sit and play video games hardly anymore, but this seems like a very good right in the middle of like dedicating hours to, you know, running dungeons with my other you know, weird friends like I used to.
It is not that. It is really not that. Honestly, a round in TTR takes like 30 seconds.
Wow.
It's cool.
It's quick. It's really
no more than 5 minutes
really
in a
fast.
weekend. Yeah.
Sammy, how much video games do you get to kick back and play these days? I heard you're pretty solid at Fortnite.
Man, I used to play pretty hardcore. I used to like maybe a couple of years ago, I was pretty heavy into like playing like squads and running like what do you call it? Like on Fortnite when you play competitive, like when you like run scrims and stuff. I used to like be pretty diehard in that. And then FIFA was like one of my go-to games as well. I used to play competitive and drain my bank account trying to get good players.
Yeah.
And
that's so funny.
I realized that it became a bad addiction real quick. So I let it go and started diving in more into like, you know, playing more shows and just like studying Web3. And I fell in love with Web3, and that's my new addiction now. So I haven't
you are a workaholic in the best way. When we're in different towns and Sammy's there, you know, like he could just goof around and have fun. When we were in Austin, it was like everywhere we went, it was free foods, free alcohol, free whatever. Just show up, next place, all this stuff free. You know what my guy was doing? He was outside running spaces and still working and still supporting his community and leading.
Still doing his thing.
So yeah, my guess is that, you know, it's actually kind of a beautiful thing to think you could spend time with your community and be streaming on Twitch and just hanging out and kind of doing something like this. So I think the opportunities here are pretty massive. Ideally, it makes me think about about, what is it, 13 years, something like that ago. I had a buddy who worked at Blizzard, and he was the main archivist because they have massive amounts of lore and all that, which is kind of cool now with the lore with Bulls and Apes, getting to see how his job must have been for him back then. But he gave me this free account, and so I wasn't paying, but I would get to sit and organize these like 25-man raids and go do these very difficult things on World of Warcraft, which was really cool at the time, but to the point of like the time investment, like people were losing their marriages over that game, you know? But the thought about doing that with the community now, that would be so cool to get to have that kind of involvement inside of the Bulls and Apes community, or inside of the Pixelated community, or just the Sammy space, or the TapTapRev community, like getting to do things together. It's just it's a really, really cool opportunity where we want to hang out with those people. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome to see how this all progresses, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Couldn't agree more.
Yep. Hey, Sammy, you were talking about in our by the way, I just want to let you know, Sammy, I just minted 4 Pixelated. So
no way,
brother.
Oh.
While we're sitting here, I went ahead and I minted because I'm not a holder, but man, I got to support. So yeah, so I just got myself 4 of them. So I'm excited, brother.
Oh, dude, you made my day. Thank you so much.
No, absolutely. Thanks for coming on the show. And yeah, it's awesome. And I can't wait to mint your guys' project, Nathan Taylor. It's gonna be exciting. But Sammy, before we got on the show, you were talking about something else that you're doing with your project. I want you to go in a little bit more detail about that, about this wallet, this giveaway that you're doing.
Oh, okay, yeah. So during this mint, one of the funny things is that a lot of the other musicians in the space, they've reached out to me and they're like, dude, you've literally done like every style or like variation or anything possible during this crazy market to like keep the momentum going. And so, yeah, like, I mean, we've switched prices, we've switched like the token gating, we've done the pre-sale, the whitelist, like we've literally done it all. I mean, it's been a slow grind. I think we're about to hit the 3-month like time period since we started minting. I mean, it's been a while since we started minting, and we're only about like 780 something left until we completely sell out. And so I'm like, you know what? Instead of like doing like one of these like massive, like, oh, we're going to give away a mutant or give away, you know, a doodle or whatever. We're like, why not create like this burner wallet, like this like treasury wallet, where we can literally go to each and every person in our community and say, hey, do you have any NFTs that are like not really doing anything, maybe like 0.01 or 0.02 that you're willing to donate? And like, if we can get maybe 2 from each person, we can ultimately have a mega wallet, like a mega wallet where we can like gift that one wallet to one lucky minter from the last 750 mints.
I like that.
And so far, I mean, it's only been 24 hours now. We have about 62 NFTs in that wallet already. And I did the math this morning, and it's already about like 1.2 Ethereum worth of NFTs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane.
So rad.
That's exactly. It's only been 24 hours. So imagine in like the next week, if once we really start like getting on spaces and promoting that wallet, where that's going to end up being at the time of mint out, you know, and
that's
like,
cool.
It could be 2 or 3 weeks from now, but that's 2 or 3 weeks of people donating NFTs. So
I just posted it up in the comments too, in the live chat. I'm going to link it below in the video as well. And we'll get your guys' links too in a second.
Cool.
But yeah, I would encourage anybody, like if you want to get behind this and just have something that ends up in that donation wallet, like that's a really cool thing to get behind, because like, how dope is that going to be for the person that gets to take that home? Like, that's amazing.
You mentioned that you're reaching out to your community members to do this, correct?
Yes. So we're going one by one through to our community. We're also saying it on Spaces. I have a private VIP chat on Twitter where I'll pop like the wallet address and people will just like send a, you know,
cool
as they want.
So I guess I'm a community member, right?
You are, of course.
So, you know, in the Bulls and Apes project, we have different levels. We've got our OG Genesis Bulls, but we have these really cool team Bulls, right?
Okay.
I got a cool team Bull here that's got the shirt that says YouTuber. I'm going to send it to your wallet.
No way.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Gary.
Yeah, I'm gonna hook you up, man.
Hell yeah.
He's super cool, man. He's this cool, laid back teen. He's got blue skin,
bro.
and he says YouTuber. And I figured it's fitting that we're on a YouTube live. Let's get you a YouTuber
I love it,
team
bro.
shirt.
Thank
So
you.
I'm gonna hook you up, man. I'm gonna do that right now while we're waiting.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, we're gonna hook up the soon to be winner.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be
excited.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll get. And you know what's really great about this is, you know, if your community is giving away NFTs, they're basically bringing a new holder into those projects, right?
Correct.
I mean, so whoever you're going to give this away to is going to get these NFTs. They're going to be like, okay, I got to check this stuff out. Let me go figure out what this project is. That's a win-win for everybody, I think.
Well, I mean, you got to realize it like this. I've been in situations where I've been hosting a giveaway where like, 25 mints, you're entered to win an NFT that's worth 0.15 or something like that. And there's people that mint a shit ton. And then there's one person that gets one and then they win it.
Right.
Yeah.
Then, you know, and like, so what I'm trying to say is like out of the 750 mints that are left, like imagine being that one guy that gets one pixelated and you win a bag that's worth like 3 ETH. So like that's cool. That's what so I'm like really stoked that things like that are, which is actually funny story. Like one of the winner from phase 1 that won the Goblin Town that I gave away from my personal wallet, he only minted like I think 2 pixelated from phase 1.
Wow, that's cool.
And on Civil minted like 100 something. So he was like, "Wait, something's wrong here."
That's so cool.
So that just goes to show you just never know. So you know. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. But seriously, appreciate you guys being so generous and
no, man. Hey, appreciate you coming on the show. I just sent it right now, so it's in the wallet. So you're good to go, brother. And and it'll be exciting. Hopefully, we get ourselves a new holder. I mean, you know, a new holder into the BAP community is awesome as well. So thank you for doing that. So and Nathan Taylor, I'm excited for what you guys are doing. I can't wait for Thursday. Right? You said Thursday is when we're minting.
Thursday at midnight. Yes.
Thursday at midnight.
I guess really the 15th at midnight. No, Thursday midnight.
Now, where
we'll
you guys
easier? September 16th, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard.
There we go.
Cool. Where are you guys located at? When you say midnight, we're talking Pacific, Mountain, Central, Eastern, midnight Eastern. So 9 p.m. my time, or 9 p.m. Chris's my time, because we're Pacific.
Yep.
Very cool.
Very cool. Well, hey, how about this? Let's, I know Sammy's going to play us out, but like always on the show, either Gary or myself brings this up. In this case, I'm jumping the gun, Gary.
You got it. I know where you're going.
I want to get links. I want to support you guys. I want everybody to support you guys. And the same for Sammy. So first off, Nathan and Taylor, where are some places that people can follow what you're doing? Some links, website, Twitters, like what do we got? Just let us know, and then I'll go back and I'll link those up below in the description for future viewers, so they can click a button and they'll be right where you want them.
Perfect. So our Twitter is TapTapRev, and that's where you can go to really find all of the news. Will either be there in the Discord if you want to join the Discord, which we know people are don't love joining Discords anymore, but if you want to come join the Discord, it's a pretty lit Discord. Honestly,
it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it is super fun. That is through the Twitter, through our Twitter profile. And then if you want to check out the Mint website and really get a more granular rundown of what we're doing, just head to TapTapRev.com. And that's where our Mint will take place. That's where you can see our roadmap and have all of your questions answered.
Sweet.
Beautiful. Awesome. I love it. Sammy, what about you? What do we got? Where are we going to find Sammy? Are you anywhere on the internet? Anywhere?
Not at all. No, nowhere. only on Farmers Only.
There you go.
Farmers Only.
Where can we support you?
Does anybody even know what Farmers Only is? It's sad that I know what Farmers Only is.
I live in Tennessee, so you can't really go run away from that too much. But yeah, if you guys go to my Twitter, if you guys are active on Twitter, in my bio, I do have a link tree, which is famously known for having every link and little icons with like my Spotify, my TikTok, my YouTube, etc. So you guys can check out the music. But it also has all the other sites as well. It has my official SammyNFT.com, where you could learn about me and my Web3 journey and everything I've done since I started last October. If you want to learn a little bit more about Pixelated and the collection that we're minting right now, it's just pixelated.love. We actually went with the .love because we thought it was a little unique and really endearing. So we went with that, pixelated.love. And then if you want to go directly to the Mint site to scoop up some Pixelateds, just type in mint.sammynft.com and it'll redirect you to the Mint site where you can scoop up some Pixelateds for 0.03.
Let's go. Love it, man. Cool. Hey, so what are you going to play us out with, my guy?
I think I'm going to take it back to the beginning, to the first.
To the meta girl.
To the meta girl.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, this is the song that kind of pulled me into the metaverse pretty much. Goes a little like this. spending all of my Ethereum. Made her my one-on-one real quick. A digital heart, yeah, she got it in a while. It flow going up while I'm over here falling. I love a metal girl. I love a metal girl. Yeah, my escape from reality, virtual fantasy, prettiest mint I ever seen. Yeah, she burning my battery, love what she do to me. Got this man stuck behind the screen, hottest thing around the blockchain. Can't believe that she my baby. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, cause I don't wanna go back, don't wanna go back. I love a metal girl, south of metaverse. She pulled me out of earth like this. She got me spending all of my Ethereum. Made her my one-on-one real quick. A digital heart, yeah, she got it in a while. And flow going up while I'm over here falling. I love a metal girl. I love a metal girl. We tell each other GM every morning. I never felt like this, no derivative. Bullish on this love and how it's going. You bet that I'm gonna shoot the hottest thing around the blockchain. Can't believe that she my baby. She got me giving up my seed phrase. No, I ain't gonna go back, don't wanna go back. I love a metal girl, south of metaverse. She pulled me out of earth like this. She got me spending all my Ethereum. Made her my one-on-one real quick. A digital heart, yeah, she got it in a while. They flow going up while I'm over here falling. I love a metal girl. I love a metal girl. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love a metal girl. I love a metal girl. And by the way, Michael's right.
Nice.
So
Don't tell my wife that.
Amazing. Well done, Sammy.
Oh, so good. All right, you guys. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. And for everybody who's watching, we will see you again next week on Monday for the Weekly Fix Live. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.